They gave Daredevil a TV-MA rating, the highest rating a Marvel show has ever gotten on Disney+, and somehow, we still walked away feeling like something was missing. Born Again had the label, it had the potential, but did it actually use it? I'm about to give you 5 reasons why this show should have gone all in. Because holding back on Daredevil doesn't just nerf the action, it nighters the entire soul of the character. Quick note before we dive in, Born Again Season 1 was rated TV-MA. So what's the argument? The argument is that having the sticker means nothing if you don't commit to the tone. Netflix Daredevil didn't just have the rating, it earned it. Every single episode. Let's talk about why Born Again fell short of its own potential. Let me paint you a picture, literally. Because Muse, a serial killer who uses human blood as his paint, is one of the darkest villains in Daredevil's entire comic history. He can't be detected by Matt's radar sense. He's unpredictable, he's terrifying. He's basically the MCU's answer to Hannibal Lecter. And you know what Born Again did with him? Revealed he painted with blood in the episode before they killed him off. That's it. That's the whole arc. In a fully committed TV-MA show, Muse is a season-long psychological horror storyline. He's the villain that breaks Matt Murdock, not just physically, but spiritually. Instead, he was a subplot, a footnote. And that's a crime almost as bad as the ones he committed. You know what scene lives rent-free in every Daredevil fan's head? Wilson Fisk slamming a man's head in a car door in Netflix Season 1. No music, no superhero landing, just raw, terrifying violence from a man in a suit. That scene told you everything about who Kingpin is without a single line of dialogue. Born Again made Fisk a politician, and look, that's clever storytelling. But making him a mayor with ambitions meant pulling back on the thing that made him the MCU's most dangerous villain. Personal, brutal, hands-on violence. A fully TV-MA Born Again doesn't just tell you Fisk is a monster, it shows you, repeatedly, until you're scared of him the same way you were in 2015. Jon Bernthal came back, the fans lost their minds. And that argument scene between Frank and Matt, electric. Genuinely one of the best MCU moments in years. But here's the thing about Frank Castle, the Punisher doesn't work as a cameo. He works as a force of nature, a walking consequence. His whole identity is built on the kind of violence that doesn't cut away before the worst part. Netflix gave us a Punisher who felt dangerous every single second he was on screen. Born Again gave us a guest appearance. If this show had fully committed to its TV-MA rating, Frank Castle's return wouldn't just be a fan service moment. It'd be a declaration that the MCU is finally ready to handle what this character actually represents. Daredevil is not Spider-Man. He is a Catholic man drowning in guilt, trauma, and a faith that tells him what he does every night is a sin, and he does it anyway. That tension is why people love this character. The Netflix show leaned into Matt's psychological darkness hard. Isolation, self-destruction. A man who genuinely doesn't know if he's a hero or just a guy who likes to hurt people and has found a justification for it. Born Again touched on this, but every time it started to go somewhere real, something would pull it back towards safer MCU territory. TV-MA isn't just about blood, it's about being allowed to sit in that discomfort, to not flinch when Matt flinches. The show needed to let him, and us, actually suffer. Here's the biggest one, and it's not about any single scene. Netflix Daredevil had a tone, and it protected that tone like it was a religion. You never got an Avengers reference that broke the tension. You never got a quippy one-liner that undercut a brutal moment. The show trusted its audience to stay in the world it built. Born Again couldn't fully commit. You'd get a genuinely dark, gripping scenes, and then something would remind you this is still a Disney Plus Marvel show. And the second that happens, the spell is broken. The stakes deflate, and you stop believing the danger is real. TV-MA isn't just a content rating, it's a creative promise. It's the showrunners saying, we're not going to protect you from this. Born Again said it, it just didn't always follow through. Look, Born Again is not a bad show. Season 1 had real moments of greatness. The Punisher scene, the brutality of the later episodes, Vincent D'Onofrio being Vincent D'Onofrio. But Daredevil deserves a show that's not just rated TV-MA on paper. It deserves one that commits to that darkness in every episode, every villain, every choice. The bones are there. Season 3 has a chance to get it right. Season 2 is almost over and dates the script. But if Marvel keeps one foot in safe territory, they're going to keep getting a show that's almost great, instead of one that's actually legendary. If you agree, or if you think I'm completely wrong, drop it in the comments. Let's argue about it. And if you're into dark MCU breakdowns like this, hit subscribe. We go deep on this stuff all the time. See you in the next one.